There's this one moment, a single moment that can completely shatter a narcissist's reality. And it's not what you think. It's not the big fight. It's not the begging. It's the moment they drop their ultimate power move, their final decision. And you meet it with absolute silence. So what if the most powerful thing you could possibly do is to do nothing at all? We're going to get into exactly why that quiet acceptance is the one thing they never see coming and how it can flip the entire script for good. All right, so first things first. When a narcissist makes a grand final decision to end things, you got to understand something crucial. It's almost never really about the end. It's a move on the chessboard. Yeah, see, it's a test. A calculated move designed to get a very specific reaction out of you. In their mind, they've already written the script, and your part is to chase them, to question them, to fight back. And that reaction, it's not just something they want. It's something they absolutely need to feel powerful. So they're expecting all that drama, right? The begging, the chasing, the huge arguments. But what they really want isn't the drama itself. It's what the drama gives them: control, validation, power. Your emotional reaction is the proof they need that they matter, that losing them is this devastating blow you just can't take. It's what beats their ego and locks in their belief that they're the one pulling all the strings. But here's the thing. What happens if you just refuse to play your part? This is where everything changes. This is where the power starts to shift back to you, and all you have to do is step outside the box they built for you. So instead of fighting, you just accept it. You meet their big final decision with this unshakable calm. No arguments, no emotional fireworks. You simply let it be. And that one simple act, it throws a wrench into their entire psychological framework. Because in their world, people don't just let them go. People are supposed to fight for them. And when you do that, the effect is immediate. You've just cut off their fuel supply. And yeah, that fuel actually have a name. It's called narcissistic supply. You can think of it like the emotional currency they run on. And here's the wild part. It doesn't matter if your reaction is positive or negative. Anger, sadness, pleading, it's all good to them. It's all a signal that they're still the center of your universe. So when you give them nothing, you're basically starving them, and their whole sense of self starts to feel incredibly shaky. See, their whole feeling of being superior, it's all built on a comparison. They need to see you losing it while they're calm and in control. That's what makes them feel powerful. But when you're calm too, suddenly there's no contrast. You're on equal footing. And let me tell you, that is a place they absolutely hate to be. Okay, so let's go inside their head for a second. What is actually happening in there? Well, your silence just sent them into a total tailspin. It's pure chaos, the one thing they've spent their entire lives trying to control and avoid. Their mind just starts racing. They're replaying everything, trying to figure out where the script went wrong. Wait, why didn't you fight back? They were prepped for a huge emotional battle. Why aren't you chasing me? This is the one that really gets them. It completely contradicts their core belief that they are this irreplaceable prize that you can't possibly live without. And all of that leads to the big one, the question that terrifies them most. Wait a minute, was my control just an illusion all along? And that little seed of doubt, it's not about you anymore. It's about them. And it's enough to start cracking the foundation of their entire identity. There's a psychological term for this mess they're in. It's called cognitive dissonance. It's that awful, uncomfortable feeling you get when you hold two completely contradictory ideas at the same time. For them, it's the belief I'm powerful and in control clashing hard with the reality this person is completely indifferent to me. And that mental static, they just are not equipped to handle it. So to really get why your silence is so destabilizing for them, we have to look under the hood, behind that big, confident facade they show the world. And what you find is that all of it, the grandiosity, the constant need for control, the demand for admiration, it's not a sign of strength. It's a defense mechanism. It's a really elaborate shield they've built to protect themselves from a deep inner pain and a paralyzing fear of being exposed. If you trace it all the way back, this often starts with a deep inner wound, usually from childhood, a time when their feelings were ignored or invalidated. So they learned a tough lesson really early on. Being vulnerable is dangerous, and maybe my true self isn't good enough. So they created this persona, this armor, as a survival strategy. Their entire identity is fragile, and it completely depends on what other people think of them. So when you just calmly accept their decision and hold that boundary, you become a mirror they can't manipulate. For the first time, it reflects back the raw, unfiltered consequences of their own actions. There's no drama to distract them, nobody else to blame. It's just them, alone with what they did. And that is the one situation they have spent their entire lives running from.
And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, it's the most important part. It's about your transformation, the unbreakable freedom you just took back.
Now, be prepared. It's very likely they will try to come back. They'll circle back around. But you have to know, this is not about love or missing you. It's another test. Your independence has shaken them to their core, and they're coming back to see if they can pull you back into the old game, to finally get that reaction they wanted and to prove to themselves that their control was real all along. I want you to really let this sink in. Your peace unsettles them the most. Seriously, they can handle your anger. That just means you still care. They can even handle your sadness. That means they still have an effect on you. But your peace, your genuine, calm peace, they cannot tolerate it. Because you living well without them is the ultimate proof that they are no longer in charge of your happiness.
So this is the real takeaway. Your calm, conscious indifference becomes your superpower. And it's not an act of revenge, not at all. It's an act of reclaiming what was always yours. You've simply stopped playing their game. And when one person stops playing, well, the game is over.
You know, they thought they were writing the final word with their decision, but what they really did was hand you the pen. By refusing to play by their rules, you wrote the ending. You took back your story. So the only question left is, what's your next chapter going to be?